Good afternoon, everybody. It's number 19, not 21, of the Daily Brief.
Are we sure?
Yes, we're sure this time. I'm Stephen. That's Paul. We got a full show ahead of us, and we've only got, 10 minutes to do it in, so we better crack to it.
Before we get cracking, though, I just want to apologize to everybody for us not being on yesterday. It was my fault because I was sick, and so we decided to postpone recording.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sorry, it happens.
Anyway, first up, it seems like Steve Ballmer, ahead of their big corporate meeting in Safeco Field, had a little bit of a sit-down with Seattle Times, and there's some interesting little tidbits that have come out of that little Q&A.
Yeah, I mean, the headline that sort of got my attention with regards to this Q&A was he was asked when the Microsoft's competitor to the iPad would come out, or the Windows competitor to the iPad. And he, of course, refuses to be tied down to anything. Now, well, even though we've had the release of a Slate PC running Windows 7, Ballmer has said that we can expect to see new form factors at Christmas and many new form factors released throughout the coming 12 months. So, Christmas should be an interesting time because the Slate is already a form factor.
Yeah.
So there's not that many form factors we can currently expect to see.
But apparently, he's a Facebooker.
Apparently, he's a Facebooker, yeah. The lady, what's her name?
Sharon Chan.
Sharon Pian Chan, who did the interview, basically said to Ballmer that there was a ton of profiles on Facebook with his name, which one was real. He refused to say which one was real because there's about 11 out there, and he says he doesn't want the friends request. But when she asked him how often does he check his account, he said every day. To quote, after she said really, to quote, absolutely, I'm on Facebook every day.
Yeah.
So now we know why Microsoft is lacking vision going forward. Because instead of doing the things he should be doing,
he's playing Farmville.
Playing on Facebook, playing Farmville.
Yeah, he's playing Farmville. But
poor Bill Gates, who was probably one of his friends on there, is probably being annoyed by all the Farmville requests and help requests and all that sort of stuff that keep popping up.
The other interesting thing that came out of it was that he gave the impression that the kin decreased or defocused activity from Windows Phone.
Well, it did. I mean, we talked about that before. It's the fact that there was on the weekend show, we talked about the in-house fighting that can occur between teams. And apparently this in-house... Now, this isn't something that Ballmer says. This is based on our previous talks. But that in-house fighting where you've got two different teams essentially working on the same on similar products... sabotaging each other, and as well you've got this sort of mind share that could be focused in one place being separated into two different products. So it did defocus them, but you know what, they're back and they're kicking, and there's a lot going on phone wise.
But even more interesting though is the fact that we've talked about the need for them to constantly iterate with new, and they seem to be doing that, especially with Hotmail. They just came out with a whole bunch of new security features for the Hotmail service.
Yeah, I mean, it's only last week we were talking about all the new features that had been at Hotmail, and they were still rolling out more. And now we're finding out that, again, they're tweaking Hotmail, and they're adding more and more security to it. Interestingly enough, one of the biggest problems with online mail accounts is when you go to reset your password, they usually have these same default questions like, what was your mother's maiden name? So it makes it really, really easy to guess these things and to guess people's alternative accounts and get the passwords, the reset thing sent to you. So what Microsoft have introduced is a master computer. So basically, let's say you've got 2 or 3 computers. You can set, say, your home laptop so that it is the master computer, and no matter what else happens, if you do a password reset on that one, you will be allowed to do it from that one. Now, I assume that they probably use MAC address or whatever in order to do that. Now, these things can be spoofed, but, your average person's not going to be able to spoof your MAC address because they're not going to be near your machine in order to be able to do it. The other nice little thing they're doing is you can get you can do the reset if in advance you have entered your cell phone number into your contact details, and then they can send you a reset digit number that way. So just two nice little advances to up security.
Just a short note, like we talk a lot about Phone 7 and the fact that we think it's going to do fairly well in the market. Morgan Stanley seems to agree. They're saying that they're saying Microsoft will buy its way to a triple smartphone market within 2 years.
Yeah, we've seen lots of predictions saying that Microsoft's going to get to 14 or 15% by 2014, but Morgan Stanley is basically saying that they're going to do it by 2012. Yeah. And the way they're going to do it is by throwing lots of money at it.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a typical Microsoft thing to do. We've seen them do it with Xbox. We've seen them do it with this too. And it's the right way to do it too. And of course, it's probably going to be things like undercutting the prices of other phones on the carriers by subsidizing it. So, for example, if you go out and you get an iPhone now, you get it subsidized by the carrier, so it's a couple $100 cheaper. Mm-hmm. Microsoft will probably do it so that it's, way cheaper than competition, again, subsidizing the carriers directly. Yeah. So, it's good news. But Microsoft has some tricks up its book.
No kidding.
Books, apparently, and they've caught us all by surprise by releasing a brand new phone. A Microsoft phone in Spain, of all places.
But here's the thing. It's running on Windows Phone 6.5, and it's branded as Office 2010. It's an Office phone.
Yeah, now this has been hard to sort of get very many details on it because all we've seen so far is like 2 paragraphs and a video. In Spanish. But basically, it's I want to get the details right here. It's the Sony Ericsson Aspen, which is a full smartphone with a full QWERTY keyboard. And it's running Windows Phone 6.5.3. And there's visible Office branding on this thing. Now, this has come out in... Vodafone is the carrier in Spain that is doing this. And basically what they are boasting is that this phone has perfect PC synchronization and is simple and transparent to use across corporate servers. Is it a competitor to RIM? Is this a cheap BlackBerry? We don't know. We don't have pricing. We don't have nothing. We'll play the video on the show, so you're probably watching it right now while I'm talking without the sound. But you know about as much as we do. So honestly, if anybody speaks Spanish...
We'd love to hear. We'd love to know. Yeah.
Please let us know what you're saying in that and drop us an email at podcast@winextra.com, or even better yet, give us a voicemail. Stephen will put up the voicemail number on the bottom of the screen, and it's 251-272-9633. And please let us know what they're saying. Yeah. We'd love to get to the bottom of this.
Another really interesting thing, at least I found it, is that Microsoft has gotten itself a patent for what could be detachable dual screen phones. Now, hang on. Remember back to that famous Microsoft 2019 video that was floating around for a couple weeks?
Came out of MS Labs.
Yeah. This is what they were talking about. And they have actually now gone out and gotten a patent for it.
I mean, this is wonderful. The concept of a phone that has 2 screens that can be separated independently, yet still be aware of their position in relation to each other. So this is awesome. There's looking at the images for the patent. There's a lot of, for some reason, Courier comes to mind.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because it's the dual screen thing. There's a lot of stuff here that, obviously you might almost consider it a natural evolution from Bluetooth with headsets and stuff. But this just looks really, really good. And I can't wait to sort of, what they're going to come up with phones in this respect is going to be awesome. But it's going to lead to a lot of, oh crap, I've left half of my phone.
Now, we're getting close to the end here. Both of us want to point out a really important thing that's happening on the web right now, and it's there's a move in the States to either get a backdoor into the web or to be able to shut down the web or create a blacklist. Yeah,
well, I think to summarize this quickly, basically what it is they're trying to push through Congress a new bill. It's backed by the MPAA, so you can understand this. It is basically going to provide a blacklist of sites that that can be used to censor the internet in the US. The rules are based on if the core of a business or the core of the site is infringing technology. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details, but basically what this boils down to is it can be used, for example, to shut down sites like YouTube. Now, we know YouTube won a case recently because it's been proven that YouTube has taken down copyrighted material. So that protects YouTube. But under this law, if it passed, a company like Viacom, for example, wouldn't have to prove that YouTube is doing anything illegal in order to shut it down. All they'd have to do is persuade a court that enough other people are using YouTube for illegal things in order to shut it down. We'll put all the information in the show notes, including links both to the petition and to the bill itself so that you can read it. Please go sign it and save your internet.
And on that note, folks, we call today's show to a close. Paul and I thank you for dropping by, and we'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a good afternoon and evening.
Have a good one, folks.